Fury Force, so it is time to jump into it. Starting off on Ruins once again, so let's get right into it. Of course, I still have my co-caster with me. And again, guys, I do apologize for that disconnect. Hopefully that should be sorted out now, and we should be able to see the full glory of this next match here as we continue to check out some of these round of 16 games before we get into the ever so important quarterfinal matchups, which do decide who gets to move forward into regionals, of course.
Yeah, looking forward to getting to these matches further. As we've seen with Duel, as you move through the bracket, that quality of play and the intensity of the matches increase. You see closer matches, more orbit times and things like that. So, besides just the more highlight reel frags you see, you also get closer matches, which is always exciting.
Yeah, so again, we can see these selections here too. Over on the left side, we do have Turbo. Riggs going with the Sorlag. I'm Cool is going to be playing on a clutch, so you have the two tanky characters there. Pineapple will be going over to the BJ Blazkowicz, and X is going to be on the Anarchy. Meanwhile, over on the right side, we have Fury Force, and that's Cody playing Anarchy. Drug Bud is playing Scalebearer. Kangaju is going to be on Sorlag, and for Phazon, we'll be jumping onto the Nyx. So interesting choice. Have we seen a Nyx yet today? I think this is.
I was about to comment that on that. Yeah, we have not seen a Nyx in Sacrifice today. So, and if you notice, they've gone with two lighter characters, Anarchy and Nyx, right? I think we've seen them so far with the other teams. We've seen limited. I think pretty much one light character per team. I haven't seen two yet. I might be mistaken on that, but I think it's a little unorthodox for them. So we'll see how it works.
Well, it's time to jump into it, folks. So let's begin. Round one getting started. We'll have that initial little skirmish, of course, to get control of some of these initial spawns. And jumping into it, well, unfortunately for Drug Bud, he's going to find himself surrounded 2v1 right at the beginning. And in a second, that soul is going to be spawning onto the ground, so we'll see who gets initial control of it. Blue team running into it. I'm pretty sure they're going to get it, actually. The red team, Fury Force, they got completely pushed out of the room. They may be able to contest for it in a second. In fact, they do.
Ooh.
Nicely done from Drug Bud. Swings in with the nice charge, gets the double kill on the charge, actually, and we'll just swing that right over to Obelisk B, where he'll get control for his team early on. Nice play from Drug Bud.
Nothing like hearing that choo-choo metal go off. That was a great charge. Great charge. I love seeing that's one of my favorite ways to frag in this game.
So nicely played, of course, but he's not safe just yet. They do have to make sure that they're able to hold control of things. Unfortunately for Drug Bud, he overextends just a tad there and gets himself out. But it's kind of a very weighed out aggression with the spawn timers being as low as they are. He still would have time to get back onto the point. But however, look at that, one player solo while the other kind of sit slightly off site, are able to swing in, steal the soul away, and now it goes over to X's hands as he's going to be able to move in, get control of that one, and it swings into Obelisk A now as the blue team, the guys from Turbo, will take a little bit of control here to start things off. And X trying to stay alive, going up against an opponent here who just can't seem to connect a single shot at him, or isn't even trying. He's down at 4 HP. X will finally get that kill, and now at the same time, X is trying to continue to hold control over this Obelisk, getting some nice frags in the super shotgun there, but one more player sits on the Obelisk, and he's going to successfully steal it and then just toss it right away. Phazon will now take control of it and complete the run. Nice easy run up to the Obelisk itself. And he'll actually, no, I think he missed it. So it's going to get stolen back now by the blue team, and they're going to start running it in the other direction here.
Yeah, it was some nice passing right up at the end. He just missed that throw to the Obelisk.
Drug Bud got another charge kill on a soul carrier. So he's just being a huge pain on this skill bearer right now with the charge. The moment he's become the soul bearer with the way he keeps stealing that away. So nicely played from Drug Bud again. And once more, make sure that it stays under the control of Fury Force. Power up going in, though. It is looking like the guys... Oh, no, hold on. They just stole it back. So power up is actually going to go into Phazon's hand. Originally, blue member picked it up for Turbo, but it went back over the other direction. So Phazon's got nice control over that. And that should make, not only holding on to this point a little bit easier, but if they want to get aggressive, they can do that now, too, to try and get better control over some of the bigger power-ups like the full armor and the mega health, of course.
Yeah, but using this opportunity to give more firm control over their defensive positions. So that power up protection is so powerful. I mean, especially if you have any kind of stack, health armor, you really are just a tank.
Yeah, now Drug Bud once again picking up and running that soul. Just seems to be the designated guy who's responsible for running this soul in general here, or by circumstance keeps ending up with it. As he's going to work with that charge. Speaking of which, it's going to come off cooldown for him right now, so he has that working for him. Just over a minute, we'll have another power-up spawn too, but it seems like things are going good here for Fury Force. as they have great control over their obelisk. Nobody from the blue team is even really close by. They are going to try to jump back into the portals now. Big push, all four of them trying to move for it. Another charge from Drugma, but he whiffs it this time. And he just ends up completely disconnected from most of the fight here as he wants to leap back in. Thankfully, his teammates are helping him out quite well, and they've only just now gotten up to the actual obelisk itself. One player remains. They're just going to toss that thing away as X steals the kill, gets Drugbud, takes him down, and now is going to be able to catch the soul and complete the run back over to Obelisk A.
Yeah, big turnaround for them. They finally won a nice little scrum around the obelisk and was able to get away with the soul. So now they just need to, you know, rally around their obelisk, get good defense, and get this power up for 4 minutes. They really have to get this power up to kind of get any kind of comeback going. If they let Fury Force get this power up, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Yeah,
Drugbug got it again, and he just goes for the quick run through the portal, but oh, denied at the very last second by Pineapple. It's going back and forth all over the place at this point currently. Players are going down left and right, but at the end of the day, it goes back under the control of the guys from Fury Force. They will take it, and they claim the soul as it goes onto their point once again. Pineapple trying to do some work close up, but at the last moment, right at the end there, they move in, they take control over the quad, and it's now going to the guys from Turbo that steal it. They have it. They're going to be able to try and do some work with it here as X wields it right now. Up close, though, he's got to be a little bit careful to spit. He takes down his challenger right before he goes down, so that power-up just sitting on the ground until when Trug, but once again, comes charging through to steal it. He did have to move off of his point in order to do this, though, so now they've stolen the soul once again, and that thing is running to the other side. He'll complete that run. Drugbud, he still has the quad here if he wants to make a run inside. The problem is he only has the SMG, and thankfully his teammate was way up on top there, so he was able to just casually toss the soul down for him. He didn't really need to make the full run. He's got that portal close by, but again, denied. So close. He's right next to it, and I'm Cool this time is going to be the one that steals it away when it's just inches past the red team's soul point.
It's really tough for Turbo to come back at this point. It's going to take a really, especially strong defense. And, you know, they got to get the next power up. If they get good defense going, there'll be another power up in this game, and they have to make sure they secure it.
Pineapple trying to hold on here. He's low on HP, but he's got that dual wield pop. Didn't do a whole lot of damage, unfortunately, and that spit is going to spell doom, but right before he goes down, nicely done. He's able to deny the kill, or he's able to deny the pickup and the theft of the soul himself. Still more players moving on to it. Still more players over here from Fury Force that are trying to contest it, and it looks like they've finally gotten it off the point, but it's not going to last forever here as it's just going back and forth. Drugbud trying his best to make sure that if it does return, he can immediately steal it once again, but they finally complete the run over to the other side. And the guys from the red team over here, the guys from Fury Force, will be able to get full control of it. Now Drugbud, I like what he's doing right here, sitting back in the open, trying to just snipe at some people from range. X, though, steals it again, and up close with the super shotgun, trying to toss that thing away. He's got teammate support working out great, and is now going to be able to toss this right back over into his obelisk as they again deny the actual, the round win by the guys on Fury Force.
Huge steal. That actually gave him a chance here. If they get this power up, it could change a lot of things in this round for them.
It goes over to the control of the red team actually for right now, but it's being tossed all over the place. Nobody seems to have solid control of it. Finally, Drugbud escapes with it, and that's exactly what he needs to make sure that he can swing over here and once again steal it, potentially for the final time, as they also pretty much wipe the board clean of everyone from Turbo there. However, right at the last moment, the soul carry over here for the red team actually just got dropped down. That's their Anarchy. Thankfully, the portal's close by, so they can move in, and Drugbud, he's running low on time for this protection, but he gets it inside. Now he needs to kill everyone close by, otherwise they're just going to steal it back once again.
Nice delay by Turbo. They got that steal and he threw it over the wall. It was really slick.
Yeah, and
they're not going out. They're not going out without a fight here. I mean, it's been really close. I mean, Fury Force is on the verge of finishing this round, and they just can't seem to get it right now.
I'm Cool just needs to complete the run. There was a lot of players from Fury Force sitting near the obelisk, and there still is. The spawns, they're getting really close to this point really quickly is the problem. So even as X completes the run back over into his team's obelisk, there's still players close by. They need to clear these guys out. They need to get a few seconds of clairvoyance here so that they can actually secure a little bit more percentage. They're getting so close to closing that gap, though. And this would be a huge shame if Fury Force lost this round now, considering that they are at 99%. One more attempt moving in from the Anarchy to try and steal that away. Looks like he's going to get it too, but there's rails coming in from all different directions, so that'll get denied pretty quickly. But nobody from the actual team came in to reclaim it. It's going to happen now, of course. Made one more attempt to steal it away. But I'm cool holding on to it. Drugbud tosses it off the point. He does not have a teammate close enough to actually grab it, though, so Pineapple swings in, now puts it back onto his team's point, just going under 90% now, and in fact, they are at 90%. They're getting ready to close the gap. This would be an incredible comeback if the guys from Turbo were able to complete it in a last-minute hold. Finally, they get some solidity and actually holding on to this point, but there's one last push coming back in from the players over here on Fury Force, and they've stolen it away. Phazon holds it right now, but he is on that Nyx and very low, only 20 HP. He'll go down, and the Soul gets stuck in a window. Pineapple gets it back. He's going to try to run it and complete this round, complete this comeback for his team. The Spawn moving back in at this point too, and I believe the blue team actually got control over the quad, so they have that going for them now too. And that's running back over. They complete the run. They have the quad on this point. They're denying the last of these players from moving in. One more percentage point needed, and they do it. Turbo completes the comeback, and with that, they're going to take round number 1.
Wow, what a comeback. I mean, it was funny because the whole time they're delaying there at the end and the fight was going on. I was like, they might get another power-up spawn out of this because it's so close and it's going down the wire. I was wondering who was going to get that final power-up, and they did, and they got that quad and they ran with it. Wow, very, very close match. What a comeback. What a comeback.
Yeah.
Jeez, credit to Turbo for keeping their head in the game and sticking with it.
That's definitely going to hurt the morale a little bit here now for Fury Force. They had the lead for basically that entire round, and it looked like they were in dominant fashion. Just had a little bit of trouble really keeping consistent control over it, but they would almost always get it back before Turbo were able to stack up huge amounts of percentage. You can see I'm Cool doing a nice amount of work actually from range here. Doing some great job of trying to deny the Soul morale. Unfortunately, doesn't work out. Their opponents still get it, and they're going to complete the run. But look at this. It's just that one player, Cody, that managed to complete the run. Everyone else is from his opponent's team, so I'm Cool is going to have a nice, easy job of just stealing this away, taking it to the other side, and they may actually hold better control, but he's got to be a little bit careful here. Got tagged by a rail on the way back over to the point. I think they got rid of that worry, though, and now they're on to the point, and it's time to defend. Cody's going to be the one that moves back in here. And again, same issue as before, where nobody from the defending team was able to actually successfully get over to the point. Nicely done from X. Just gets right on the outside of that portal. Knew he was going to be jumping through. It's a cheeky little melee kill there as well. So at the moment, again, no one really having full control over this Soul. Drugbud has stolen it for his team over on Fury Force there, but they can't really complete that run. There's just so much interference being played out by the guys on Turbo in the middle of the map, and you can just see that the stream's crossing with the rails there, so it's making it very difficult indeed to actually get that Soul back over to the other side of the map, and for someone to hold on to it for more than a good 5 to 10 seconds, that seems to be the longest we've had it so far. But maybe there's a chance here. We'll have to see how a few of these initial kills go. There's one player, I think it is Cody again, trying to make a run inside to be able to steal the Soul. I'm Cool looking to resist it, and thankfully his teammates and himself were able to hold that back. But no, more are on the way. The guys from Fury Force are not letting up on this one. Drugbud gets it and just goes to the long toss to throw that thing away. The Soul will go onto the ground. It'll get picked up by I'm Cool though, and just head right back over here to Obelisk A.
There's been a serious momentum shift, and it goes back to the last round. I mean, Turbo's playing them really well. I mean, look how they're starting off now. Something switched. Maybe it's some confidence, or maybe they figured something out in regards to their play style. But they're laying it on Fury Force right now. It's been a major turnaround since the middle of that last round.
Yeah, with the power-up, though, Drugbud is going to be able to move in and pick himself up the Soul. Thankfully, with that protection, he's not taking as much damage from these dots and just enemies, again, that are running interference here. So, same as before, should complete the run. The power-up is not going to make him immune, however, so he does eventually go down, and X will pick it back up, which is great for him, because now they can just steal that right back. In fact, his teammate does it for him, so same as before. The guys from Fury Force, they get that Soul down, but only for a few seconds. But now Fury Force has stolen it back, so nobody can get control over this tank thing for more than a few moments. In fact, the guys from Turbo had the best run so far, sitting at 34%, but now it is going to go over on Obelisk B. X is trying to steal it back immediately. He's done it, and over the wall that Soul will go. As now we are going to see one more attempt made here, but again denied. It's just no one has control over this thing currently. Pineapple trying his best along with some of the other members of Turbo to toss this Soul back, but Cody intercepted it, and now it's heading right back over here to point B.
It looks like they're just trying to, Turbo's just trying to grab it, and then, right, they throw it over that wall every time. Just get it out of the area. And maybe if there's a teammate there, maybe there's not, but the teammate still just stop the counter, and maybe you can run some interference as they try to chase it down.
There we go. Soul stolen once again. Is he going to be able to get that far with it this time? There's the toss out. And it didn't actually make it that far. It just got tossed right back over here. Oh, look at this Kanga doing loads of work, actually. Oh, my goodness. Massive damage being done with him. Unfortunately, was not able to recover the Soul himself, but his teammate did that for him, so that'll actually get tossed back on again. And this is finally a little bit of consistency at the very least from Fury Force. You can see that. Everyone else in the blue team is stepping back for a moment to regroup.
15 seconds.
Yeah, Fury Force finally stopped that momentum Turbo had going, so settled into a little bit of defense here. we gotta see how Turbo can adjust and who gets this next power up. Obviously, is going to be a big. It's going to make a big difference.
And finally, Kanga does actually end up going down. You saw there a moment ago, he actually got the 5,000 damage medal too, a few kills before. So he'd been running amok without anyone even really having control over that. Phazon's going to move in. Now, he did get the protection, but no, it's on the Nick, so it's not going to have nearly as much effectiveness as it would on someone else, like a tankier champion here, as they'd be able to eat up the damage a lot better. But it still works okay. With that protection, they're able to get it down into this fight and overwhelm the player from Turbo that was trying to once again run the orb and steal it for the other side here. So Phazon gets it back in for his team. Power-up's now gone, so everyone's back to normal here. But again, it is the guys from Fury Force that have control over their obelisk and seem to be holding it relatively consistently, at least in terms of how this round has played out so far. Nicely done from Phazon. Continues to frag out here with the rails, and there we go. 2 kills back to back. He will finally get overwhelmed, though, as 2 different players try to move on to him with rails.
Settling in a little better. Even when Turbo seems to get away with the soul for a little bit, you know, that chaotic scrum that tends to break out, it seems like they're winning it. But we saw in round 1 they got a good lead and they weren't able to close the show. So I'm sure Turbo definitely has that in mind, and you know, they're going to look to make their own push now that they got their own obelisk with the soul.
X will do his best to resist that, but he's the only one here right now. Rails are actually holding back pretty much everyone else on his team. Thankfully, Rails are also firing back from the other side. X trying his best to steal this and eliminate anyone that he can. However, he goes down now to Drugbud, who actually gets a double kill, moving back onto this point, but just throws that back onto an opponent there as he tried to toss it over the wall, same as some of his other teammates were doing. So, ooh, there we go. He gets taken out again. And now Phazon is finally going to be able to steal it away. Can they actually keep it away, though, is the problem. As the past, like, 3 steals have been instantly denied. It looks like Phazon just jumped over his opponents, though, and successfully did get this away. There's one opponent waiting on the point, but Phazon will rip through that one, and he actually kills himself. Same with I'm Cool. These guys are just ripping each other apart as everyone is going down on top of that point. No one can seem to be able to actually get control over the soul, which is the big problem. But it seems like the guys from Fury Force survived the encounter, and now they once again have control over it. This continues to be a close fight, but now we've got a quad on the board here, and I'm Cool is trying his best to steal it away. Goes onto the ground. I'm Cool's going to pick it up himself, but he's only at 7 HP. Needs some health very quickly here. But I think with that last kill he got, he did clear out the wayside, and now Pineapple steals the soul for a second time. Tosses that over the edge for the power-up holder. I'm Cool. He does have this back under his control, but he was expecting this soul to come in his direction here. So wanted to wait onto the point, and there we go. Toss to him. Now he should be able to claim it. And he still has a couple extra seconds on this power-up, too, for anybody that immediately tries to move in, but no, he goes down. So there is about a 3-second left here on this quad if someone wants to pick that up and try to roll with it really quickly. And there you go, Drugbud, he has it, and he uses it to now steal the soul back again. No one can control it, and the guys from Fury Force are just able to keep this small advantage they have as a result of that nice little pickup there right at the end.
Yeah, didn't get the most out of that quad. He was a little too low. You know, he was kind of roaching around looking for health. Couldn't get anything going, so Fury Force was able to steal it back, and it's unfortunate Turbo couldn't get much out of that quad.
Kanga on the point too. I mean, it's just a war zone sitting on top of Obelisk Speed. Jumping on there is almost certain doom for yourself in its current form. So for Riggs, he'll leap onto it here, try to steal, but oh no, he got pushed into the wall, and I think he just threw it right back onto one of his enemies so they get it back. Let's see, it's sitting on the ground currently, so no one actually has control of the soul, but red team gets it back, dropped again, and now back into the blue team as they have it too. They're trying to toss it back out. Finally, I think they get it out of the immediate area of point B, and they are going to be able to complete that run. This time though, they need to hold on to it. This is the same situation of before. Excuse me, where Fury Force is sitting just over 90% here. And if they allow this to go out of the room again, they are pretty much going to doom themselves to a lost round and take this up 1-1.
It looks like we're going to get another 8-minute power-up here. This is going down to the wire. Whoever gets this 8-minute power-up may win the game, although Fury Force definitely has a nice lead right now. A little better situated than they were last time when this power-up was on.
Good attempt of a hold from X2. Unfortunately, they lost the soul anyway, so now it's going to move up. I think the blue team is happy with waiting for this, and it is a quad. X has it, but he's low. Only 20 HP to play off of currently, so he does have to be very careful.
He's there now. What's he waiting? Yeah, I don't know what he was waiting for.
I guess he was hoping a teammate would have jumped on that for him and done it, but apparently not. So Fury Force does take round number 2, and now we go 1-1.
Yeah, very close round. Again, very close round. 2 evenly matched teams. Too bad Turbo couldn't make one little push there at the end, right? Just had some teammates jump on the point to interfere while he came in with quad. Would have been really good and made it a little more interesting at the end, but good job for Fury Force to close up around that time.
So into round number 3 we will go here. And again, both teams look to try and get as best control over the immediate spawning area of the Soul as they can. Cody picks himself up the nail gun. He's pretty much just going to unleash hell in the spawn point in case anyone, well, basically tries to do what you just saw there. But they charge past it. Nice little snipe from Cody. Just destroys X from all the way down in the bottom tunnel to all the way up at the top where the rocket spawn is. Trying to do that again against more players here. And there we go. He's ripping him apart, but he gets ripped apart himself by the lightning gun from X. And now he'll complete the run. They can Obelisk be under their control. That'll go under the control of the blue team. Turbo will take that for right now, but they're not, again, same issue as the last round. Nobody gets really great control over the initial Soul. They only get 4% off that first grab, and now Cody's going to steal it back and run it over to his Obelisk.
Yeah, it seems like both teams, it takes a little bit to get settled in. You know, when they first grab that initial Soul, it's definitely chaotic. That initial scrum is important. Who's really going to kind of clear out the opponent, give yourself a little breathing room, you know, pick up a few items, some armor, some health, and really just set yourself, you know, to get positioned in some different arsenal, right, to shoot at people.
X just got out of the way of that run, or of the charge there from the enemy Scale Bear, so he was able to avoid it. But again, same problem as before. The rest of his teammates were busy fighting halfway across the map, so he was unable to get out of that. Nicely held by Kanga. Does survive the dual wield on the Blaskowitz, but is taken down by the clutch a second later anyway. Oh, I'm cool. Launched into the air by the Scale Bear and finished off a second later too. Cody trying to complete the run, can't get it done. Riggs, he's going to toss that Soul back. Keep in mind, only 10 versus 8%. This is a dead heat right now. Whoever can get a solid amount of control over either Obelisk is going to have a nice advantage to start this round off, as neither one of these guys seem to be able to claim it right now. It just keeps going back and forth, and even when it gets onto the point, it only seems to be for a few seconds at a time. They kill this Sorla. You're looking good. That's great. Finally, they're going to be able to hold control of that, as I do think the guys from Turbo are going to have to fall back now.
Got a power up coming up, so who's going to get it?
Your team has the quad. Excellent.
It's like, oh, great play by Faison. He's really low though. He's hurt.
Faison's got it, but yeah, like I said before, this is not the first time this has happened either, where the Nyx gets it, so it is going to be a relatively squishy character, which can be taken out just like that. So X steals it, and he not only steals that, but he's going to steal the quad, he's going to steal the Soul, and just denies on that charge attempt, but Kanga moves in, trades it right back. I'm cool. He gets control over both of the pickups now, has the Soul, has the power-up. The power-up, granted, is going to be expiring in just a few moments here. 2 or 3 seconds from now, he can kill it, but he can use that power-up still to clear out this site. Make sure that he is able to hold control of this. Nice little stealth moving out there, trying to deny it, as we see the gauntlet coming in there from Faison, and he uses that to quickly eliminate that massive health pool on the clutch, taking him down and now clearing out the site a little bit more. Not enough to secure a steal on the Soul just yet, though, as it is looking like, same as before, the guys from Turbo are going to be able to maintain control over it, at least for the time being.
Turbo looks like they're kind of settling in a little bit, getting some control over their area. So Fury Force needs to be careful and letting them get too stacked, too comfortable there.
Nice deny coming out there from the blue team as they attempt to toss the Soul away again, but the toss is not good. It doesn't actually make it over the wall, so they hold on to it. Drugbud tries to do the same thing, but misses the toss again, so I'm cool is going to be able to hop up here, put it back on his Obelisk, and continue to stack some percentage up for himself and the rest of his team. Faison taking him down, though, so once again, Soul probably going to get stolen here in a second. As they do toss
Fury
it away.
Force should be really be thinking about this next power-up. I'd be less concerned with rushing in and losing teammates at this point, rather than getting a decent arsenal, get some stack for everybody, and being ready for this next power up in 15 seconds.
They're doing a great job of denying it, though. It seems like they finally got great control over this one. Every attempt that they make to toss the Soul out, oh, this might change now. The Soul finally actually got past that little portal, or finally got past that little doorway there in the middle. So they are going to try to complete this run, and finally they make it. The clutch from the other team was such a menace before. It just wouldn't let them get outside of the point time after time again, and they finally completed that run. Kanga is now back in mid, trying to fight for control over the power-up. The initial carry of it does go down, but now Cody's going to take it as well. He'll have that to work off of, but he doesn't last very long either. That goes over to the other side, and it looks like the red team is now going to have control. Actually, no, blue team gets it back again. X has control over the quad, and they just got the Soul back too, but X is in a little bit of trouble. Thankfully, he's got his injection ready to go, so he can stay alive, preventing his opponents from picking that up, and now he can wreak some havoc. There you go, massive damage. Shotgun, look at that. 600 damage in 2 shots there with the quad. Even the duel being popped up by Pineapple, though, doesn't need it anymore, and the quad is going to be expiring in a moment, but Pineapple can still get some damage done here before it expires and make sure that he holds control over this Obelisk for his team.
Yeah, good backup by Pineapple, right? Backing up his quad carrier teammate, pulled out the dual wield, and then, even though his quad carrier went down, he was there to support his teammate, got the extra kill, and cleaned up the quad.
Attempt here from the Scale Bearer to try and sneak in and steal this. They are slowly whittling down the health pools of the blue team, but it's not working out too well in the long run, unfortunately. Here, X is still going to be able to sneak back in. The reinforcements continue to flow for both sides. Red team may get a successful steal off on their Nyx, but it's not going to last long and immediately gets dropped back onto the Obelisk. Cody trying to run over top, even leaps over the Sorlag to get a second kill there. And now we'll leap back on top to steal this, but I'm cool again denying things here as he has been doing throughout this entire round so far. Soul off the point again, but I'm cool. Same as before. He has to have 10 plus recapture just in this round alone, as that clutch has been such a menace to try and deal with here in these rounds.
Fury Force needs a steal bad right now. They really do. They need a steal, and they need this next power up to have any chance of turning this around. Otherwise, they're going to go down.
I don't even think this next power up is going to spawn.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They had to get the steal first.
There we go. They finally get it off the point. Can they actually escape with it, though? And no, again, right at that doorway, they get denied. However, he's got a teammate next to him. Pineapple's going to pick it back up and right through the doorway. Power-up should be spawning in just a few seconds here, so this could potentially decide the match. But they do need someone from the red team to make sure they run interference, and they actually do have the soul right now. That's a very important thing to pay attention to. I'm cool. Oh, no, this is dangerous that he got the power-up, as he's now just waiting over here at Obelisk A. But the second that orb runs itself back, he's going to try to make sure that it doesn't stay there. And I think actually the red team is just going to try to keep it in the middle to waste some of the time down on this power-up. They're actually being pretty smart about this one.
Yeah, they can't afford any mistakes right now, but it really looks like they're up against it. I'd be surprised if Turbo doesn't able to get this 1% that they need.
Yeah, I'm cool's got the soul back now in addition to the, oh, the power just expiring, but Drug Bud, hold on, he stole it back, so he's got it now too. Dual wield from the Blaskovitz though, may take him down, and there you go. Pineapple might have just saved the day with that dual wield pop. As now he's going to complete the run. Nobody from the red team. Actually, no, there is one player that can try to stop it. Does he get on the point in time? Yes, he does. They are going to be able to get onto it in time. Have they stolen it? Yes! Kanga gets it just off the point. Throws that thing away. They do not want that close to the point, so they delay it a little bit more here, but they still have to remember they are 50% behind their opponents in its current form, and actually, no one can pick that up, so that might actually get reset in a second here. Nope, it's down on the ground now, so Drug Bud is going to get it finally. Right after I'm Cool, of course, just finishes massacring the enemy team. I think he just got a quad kill right there, and X completes the run, and I think with that team wipe from I'm Cool, they're going to complete the run, and the blue team, Turbo, will take control of map number 1.
Big turnaround, big turnaround. I mean, it seemed like, you know, Fury was ready to, you know, take control in the round 1. I mean, they got off to a great start, up to 99%, and then Turbo really made a great comeback. I think they only were in the maybe the 30-something percentages, while Fury Force had a 99% or somewhere around there, maybe 40%. It really was a great comeback, and then they continued, with that momentum into the following rounds. It just seemed like that really Fury Force never really could quite get back into their game after that first round loss. It just seemed like the momentum, they just can never get anything going anymore after that. It seemed like Turbo, whether they made some adjustments, confidence, what have you, it just seemed like from after that initial comeback, they were really in control for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Cool was for me in that third and final round was the MVP sitting on the clutch there. He denied so many soul run attempts and was almost always the player that actually went out and got the soul back to you. That was the kind of the problem area for the first 2 rounds for the guys on Turbo, is that they actually had a lot of problems with making sure that they were actually, when they put that soul down, that the teammate of the enemy team didn't immediately go back in and pick that up and continue the run. But I'm Cool did a great job of running interference with that massive hitbox that the clutch has, and just constantly making sure that, nope, I'm going to body block you, I'm going to get in your way, I'm going to stop you from getting out of this immediate area, so that when we do take you down, we can pick it back up really quickly and then just toss it back in ours. So at most, we lose like maybe 2 to 3% of the time that you stole it away. So that was some really good stuff, and it's no surprise now that as we are going into the picks for the second map, I'm Cool is going to stick on the clutch.
Yeah, I would imagine most of these teams, right? You have a kind of a set role that most people are familiar with, so you don't have too much switching around on champions. That way, you can get comfortable in your team environment, knowing that's your role, and maybe I would imagine maybe one other role in case somebody can't be there for sub reasons. But I would imagine, like I said, people on team play will have their set character, their set champion that they're going to prefer.
Well, we are getting into it here now, guys, so let's jump to it. You can see the compositions once again as we do hop in game. Everybody is loaded in. And we'll pull up the scoreboard so you guys can get a nice little preview once more. I think pretty much, yeah, even the guys from Fury Force didn't really seem to change up their lineup too much, so they're still going to be working with that Nyx over on Phazon there, and I think everybody else on the Turbo side also stayed pretty much the same here too. So it should be the identical lineup to what we had before, just on obviously the different map this time. And we'll see if the play style differs at all for these two teams. We should be starting off the match in just a few seconds here. As soon as the game props up, we can jump back into it and see if, well, we'll have a quick 2-0 from Turbo with the way that they were able to control and more importantly defend their Obelisk, because that was definitely the focal point. Both teams had no trouble attacking Obelisk in that last map. It was more both teams had big problems defending it up until the third round when the guys from Turbo finally figured out how to do it properly there. But let's get into it. Let's take a look now at our second map. Let's take a look and see here if things are going to differ, if we are going to see a little bit more power this time from Fury Force, or if we will see Turbo dominating it again, and maybe even taking it in a 2-0 fashion. Faison going to have a little bit of fun right at the start here, trying to get some up-close combat against his teammate. Teammate gets himself the nice rail pickup as well. That initial spawns for him. busts out his gauntlet right at the end, thinking that someone would have tried to push on him. Not the case. Soul spawns out, though, and Drugbud's going to be the first one to pick it up. Once again, making that run happen, trying to complete it, but there are going to be opponents in the way. He is able to toss it in, but he can't do that for the first initial run. You do actually have to run it directly inside there, so that won't work as well. And now he'll actually end up killing himself, but it's in the name of trying to deny opponents there. He'll respawn back up, and it looks like they got okay control, but the bigger issue is going to be, well, the blue team is already stacked up and ready to move back in. So, for Fury Force here, they're not going to have a whole lot of time to get prepped, as their opponents are already getting ready to jump back in, but they've got everyone here ready to defend it. In they go. Drugbud nicely done. Sniping one. Sniping two now. Can he get a third, as they have escaped with the soul for the time being? And there we go. No, they are going to be able to make the run right outside, but the blue team has stolen that soul, and they're going to be taking it over to the other side of the map.
A good run. A lot of frags going on there, but you know the soul carrier was still able to get out of there. So that's a big steal, actually.
Drugbud, yeah, it's impressive they got out there despite, players were getting ripped apart one by one inside. And I'm amazed that they're still actually holding on to it, and that the guys from Fury Force haven't been able to get it back yet. Kanga doing some nice work with the rails outside here, too, in middle. He's picking players off. Unfortunately, not directly contributing to this objective, you said. He is alone, and doesn't even have full HP for this engagement. So, yeah, not going to be the most well-advised thing going up against I'm Cool. There's him showing up on the defense once again, as we saw in the previous maps. Just really, at this point, unfortunately, Fury Force, they're getting a lot of kills, but they're getting them, like, off the point, and they're kind of irrelevant, because these guys from, the guys from Turbo are going to have plenty of time to respawn and get back on the point before the actual push happens. And there we go. Finally, they steal the soul away again. Are they going to be able to keep it is the question. Faison has it. He's going for a bit of a low run right now. I'll take that jump pad. A little risky here, and thankfully no one is close to him on that jump pad. That could have been what killed it right there. And oh, they don't even realize that he swung right past him. Dodges another rail shot. That would have killed him more than likely as well. Makes it onto the point. He's still in a risky situation. As the clutch, I'm Cool is going to push up, but goes over to the gauntlet. Faison gets up close and personal in order to get that kill, and now dives into stealth, trying to get a better position, and once again moves over. I think he just got another kill with the gauntlet as well, but in doing this, he got distracted. He lost focus of the obelisk, and Riggs was able to move in, steal the soul, and make a very fast run across the map in order to get it into his team's obelisk.
That was a big turnaround. Drugbud was able to charge and get the protection, but he didn't really have any team members backing him up, and he was low after he grabbed it, got an initial kill, but got finished off, and Turbo ended up getting the protection, and now they're back in control of their obelisk, and then again showing much better defense compared to Fury Force after things have started to settle down.
So X and a few of the others are trying to fall back and make sure they hold control of this one. Bit dangerous now. They did let them steal it, but it's not for very long. Again, that's the Nyx going in there, and unfortunately the Nyx not going to be the greatest at trying to steal souls, especially when pretty much everybody from the blue team is there to defend it. So Kanga steals it again. Pineapple will deny that, and they're trying their best to hold it off. Red team here, Fury Force, is making slow progress. Just really not enough in the long run here, so it looks like the guys from Turbo have already gotten back control, and in a second should be able to toss that onto their obelisk, and there you go. They're once again stacking up progress. It was great. It was a great opener from Fury Force, but now here in the mid-round portion of this game, they're not looking so great. They're having problems getting this thing off the point and keeping it off the point too. Cody, he's stolen it. Now he's got to make the run here. He's already low, 30 HP, and hurts himself with the rocket. So Drugbud's going to take him down, but he also trades it back and takes out Pineapple too. So that is going to be picked up here. Get tossed back off as his opponents look to keep control over the soul, but again, denied at the very last second. It's going all over the place right now. But same as before, if they can't get it outside of the immediate area of the B obelisk here, so Pineapple and the rest of his team are going to be able to hold control, and Pineapple even busts out the dual wield there to get a kill under the last player offending. But now with the power-up spawn coming in, this is where the action gets intense. I'm Cool steals away the initial carrier of the power-up. Did have to go with the point to do that, but now the soul has been stolen away by Kanga. He's got to avoid that quad damage as he's extremely low. Can't do it. It's Pineapple that swings in, gets it back in for Riggs. He'll complete the run back over to his obelisk.
Yeah, Turbo's just doing a great job. One, well, they're getting the power-ups now, which is huge. But also, it just seems like anytime Fury Force gets anything going on the Soul, they're doing a great job of converging around the Soul. You know, take a football term, they're gang tackling, right? Anybody gets the Soul, they're just converging and throwing any damage at them, and it just seems like Fury Force can't get any momentum, you know, coming out of their point for the most part. I mean, here and there they're getting away, but they're just constantly just converging and putting a lot of pressure on them.
The quad just continues to change hands. That thing has gone to like 4 or 5 different people so far in its lifespan. I think it is finally going to expire here in a moment. Oh, nicely done from Faison. Making a lot with a little there on the Knicks. I think it's a nice up-close shot with the rail. And finally, I think we'll get a moment of peace to himself, since the blue team has been successfully pushed back. This might be, again, similar to some of the last map's rounds. This is going to be the last attempt of a hold, however, from the guys on Fury Force. They really have to make sure they can properly aggress here and keep players like this Clutch off the point. They don't even want to let this thing get stolen, because it's very easy to get out of this room once you actually steal it. There's not a lot blocking you from making a run outside here. So this is going to be a slightly inferior point with regards to that capability. The good news is, though, is that you also can't get pecked off from range like you can at the other point, because the room itself is slightly more enclosed over here inside of the church. Faison again trying to do a little bit of work as he attempts to snipe some players off at range, but lost attention on the actual obelisk itself. So there you go, X, and like I said before, quick run outside of the room, just has to make one quick hop. Goes for the injection as he tosses the soul back, and nice run from X. Makes that in a solid like 5 to 7 seconds, is able to complete that. But already someone is contesting it. Gonna be a failed contestation, but there's more on the way.
That's the big steal, because right now the power-up's coming up. They can technically ignore it and just make them go back. As long as they get this power-up, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and with that, they pretty much won the round, too, as they continue to etch up towards 100%. They'll complete that run, and round number 1 here on map 2 goes to Turbo.
Nicely done. Again, Turbo just keeping Fury Force from getting any momentum. It really does seem that way. Just they can't get out of the, you know, the immediate area of the obelisk after they steal. Turbo's doing a great job of converging on the Soul Carrier and killing him, you know, coming in from multiple angles and just winning those scrums. You know, it can get a little chaotic from time to time when it's in the balance. It's like they're winning those engagements, little scrums, coming out to the better side of it and getting, you know, stronger defense. Fury Force just can't get nothing going right now.
Soul spawn.
Well, the Soul spawning out now, and we're going to see the control of it immediately go over to Riggs from Turbo. He'll get that. He needs to get out of here, though. He just busted out the Garland. He knows players are going to try to get close to him to contest. Doesn't work out, but Riggs will complete the run anyway. And once again, it's going to be the guys 2 for 2 so far in this map. Turbo will have gotten their choice of point on both of these rounds so far. Unfortunately for Riggs, though, he does jump out into the open while still relatively low on HP, so that is going to be a pretty easy kill for the red team, for the guys on Fury Force. Be able to pick up, and now they'll move in, start the contention, but they've been surrounded. Nice little swing kill from Drugbud there, but he goes down a second later. It's to X now, close up to the point to stop this Soul from being tossed out of the room. It does get thrown away, not handed immediately into an opponent's hands, though, and actually now it gets tossed over. They'll once again toss it, however, it's going to miss, but look at that from Drugbud. Completes the run right through his opponent as he charges into him there, and now we're just a few steps away from getting it into his obelisk. However, denied at the last second here. Cody's going to try to steal it, but I'm cool. Gets in the way once more, and now sends it in the other direction, but he gets blocked by a wall, so Faison is going to take him down and now steal the orb back, and I think finally the guys from Fury Force will get it onto their obelisk.
Yeah, look, I mean, just look at all the interference you had to run through, right? Just to get that one gap. I mean, it just seems like Turbo's really just all over the Soul Carrier at all times, and it's causing Fury Force a lot of problems.
And it's gone again. Pineapple's stolen it here. And he's actually got a pretty straightforward run. Everyone from the red team was focused there, so they are trying to get in the way of it now. X will change his path a little bit, going through the middle. We also have power-up spawn, so X can probably drop off a few of his teammates here. In addition to dropping off the Soul at his base, they'll complete that run. Actually, he almost missed it there by picking it up himself. And with the power-up coming back in a second here, X is going to have to run back in, defend the obelisk one more time. Power-up goes in, Faison grabs it, and that's from the side of Fury Force, so now they can use that aggressively. It is sitting on the Knicks, like I said before, so it doesn't have as much of a health pool as someone like a Clutch or a Sorlag would have. So we've been seeing that used a lot too. In fact, he might still go down in a moment here if he's not careful. Health orbs are going to help out with that a little bit to recover some of the HP, but needs to get into a fight. And yeah, this power-up unfortunately is being thrown out by the wayside, but at the very least it acts as a nice distraction, since now his teammates were able to move in to the other opponent's obelisk and steal it away, as they'll get it over to their point again. He can use this on the defense a little bit better, but not for long, as it is immediately going to go away just about 2 or 3 seconds after Faison actually arrives at the point.
Need to get some arsenal. Again, take this good position. They really need a strong defense here. Need something to get momentum, not just back and forth win. They really need a dominant, in my opinion, they need kind of a dominant round, like close out, show they can hold the point for an extended amount of time. because it just always seems like it's in the balance. Everything's a struggle for them right now.
It's a Phazon. He's going to be able to hold control for the time being, along with the rest of Fury Force. Turbo finally kind of backed up a little bit there and gave up, but they've still got to be a bit careful. X is doing some damage from range. And now in they go, trying to take back control of this one. Pineapple stealing away one kill. He goes down to Drugbud, and now as far as Drugbud's concerned, he's going to go down to Riggs. A domino effect, but who ends up with the soul at the end of it? Still, the guys from Fury Force. They're actually taking great control of this one, and for the first time in a while, we're seeing someone consistently hold control over an obelisk for well over a minute, I think, at this point. Even that's
This is probably this is the best control they've shown in several rounds. It's that little run they had.
Yeah, X though has been amazing at running the soul from one side of the map to the other. So I think when he finally got his hands on it, despite him being low, his pure raw speed on the Anarchy was enough to complete the run and get it over the side, if only for these few seconds here. Trying his best to take out who he can as he surprisingly leaps back in, kills the actual Soul Runner's defender, but now he's going to take down the Soul Runner itself. Gets that, and thankfully for him, no one on the enemy team is nearby, so it's an easy pickup, and he can run it back over into Obelisk A.
Yeah, no support as Drugbud was running out of there, but the power-up was coming up, so I actually didn't see who got control of that.
Nice read on the rocket there,
Looks like Phazon has it.
X not even completing this run yet either. He actually is hopping around the map with it here since the power-up is still alive. I don't think he wants to throw out another point. He does want to try and delay, but oh no! Actually ended up tossing that back off. So they still have that power-up. They still have that little bit of a boost here. And now Cody has himself the actual pickup of the soul, so he's going to be able to try and complete that run into Obelisk B so that they can get this. And Phazon again was the one that had the power-up, but now he's going to have to carry the soul too. Completes the run. They get it back. The guys from Turbo did close the gap a little bit before, but once more it's gone into the hands of Fury Force. They're going to continue to build up their advantage. And Phazon just going to peck off at some players at range here with the rails.
Settling down a bit. They got something going. They need to keep it up because, as we've seen earlier, it turned on a dime for them and they weren't able to recover. So they got to keep the strong defense going up. And it looks like we're probably going to get another power up in about 1 minute, maybe. It depends how much delaying Turbo can do.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to steal this at least one more time in order to get that next power-up. If things continue the way they are here, Turbo actually might not even get that opportunity, as they're all off the point right now, not even trying to contest this. So that thing is just freely ticking up to 100%. Almost at 80 right now for the guys on Fury Force. They're going to be a little bit careful, otherwise this could end up on a 3-run map again. Well, in they go. They're trying to flank around the point itself. It's just not working. You can see it, Phazon and some of the others just ripping the entire push to shreds one by one. Everyone from Turbo falls as they try to push in offensively here, and it's just not happening. So yeah, I don't even know if that power-up's going to come back in. It's still 25 seconds away, and now the guys from Fury Force are over 90%, looking like it's not even, for blue team this is, it's looking like they're not even going to get it even close to being able to contest this in time.
Yeah, unless something drastic happens right now with a big steal, it looks like they got it.
Yeah, there we go. They do claim it, so Fury Force takes round 2. And just like over on Ruins, we will end up going 1-1, going to a sudden death, 3rd round to decide the map.
Again, pretty evenly contested most of the time. It just seems like overall, though, through the rounds, Turbo's just been holding a little better defense. That was a good turnaround for Fury Force because they've been struggling. So it was good for them to get a nice defensive run in there and get some power-up spawns at the same time, and really was able to buckle down in that last round. So see if the momentum continues.
Into the 3rd round we do go here, and the chaos starts as both teams try their best to get control of the soul spawn point, and it is going to be the blue team that takes it initially. Might change hands pretty quickly though, as they do have to be careful of this one. Phazon's team actually does get it back. He's trying to run it away, has to pop the stealth to get out of here, but his teammate got away with the soul, so they're going to claim Obelisk B early on. Same as the last round here. Fury Force on B, the guys from Turbo will be on A. There we go. The soul, they're trying to steal it away here.
You only feel our revenge.
Looks like it's been tossed off the point. Hasn't been picked up so much just yet. Now it goes into the hands of I'm Cool. He attempts to complete this run. Even on the clutch, though, he's a little bit low, 16 HP. And now stop inside. One more rocket can finish the job, but he jukes it at the last second. So he completes the run. And oh, dodges a charge as well. He's still going to go down, though. He's surrounded in like a 3v1 situation. So yeah, Cody is going to be able to hop back in here. He'll steal the soul back for his team. And now can he complete the run, though? He is on the Anarchy, so he's a little bit squishy. Gets taken down. Soul got tossed out. Back into the hands of X for the blue team. As Turbo tries to run it back the other way here now, but he's going to deal with some interference too. In fact, another Anarchy from the other side won't get in the way of him though, as he completes the run, but he got hit by a big rocket jump on the way, but however he bounced Drugbud and stopped himself from going down, so that should secure it, at least for another 10 or 15 seconds or so. X is not safe yet. He still has to deal with the Nyx, and the Nyx has a nice read. Hits a nice rocket there to be able to take out Phazon. Point A once again being contested. Not for a long while here. They are still kind of just hovering at the edge of the point. They haven't really been able to push in fully and make an attempt to steal. And we also have the power-up coming in pretty shortly, too. The first power-up spawn.
They got to push Pineapple off that spot up there. I mean, he just killed 3 of them, basically, and just shooting rockets down from up top. That's why they weren't able really to push on the point. Pineapple had great position up top and was just shooting rockets down on it.
Power-up down. It is going to be
nice steal.
It's going to be the quad spawn here. I'm Cool gets it, so best situation here now is it goes onto a clutch. So as long as he can keep his armor and whatnot stacked up, and they have control over the point, this is great for the guys over on the blue side here for Turbo. Cool's got to be a little bit careful because he hasn't built up his health pool all the way here. Again, Faison doing some work with that golem. That has to be the 4th or 5th kill I've spotted so far just in this map on the gauntlet there. So there's some good stuff from him. But I'm Cool is smart. When the pop of the stealth does go in, he is able to dodge away from that one, and more specifically dodges this charge here too, since he is only at 100 HP currently. Wastes out the entire timer of the power-up here, so will not get that last kill, but a teammate moves in to assist along with himself, working on that last final kill for the time being. One more pushes in, and he's a little bit low now. Ooh, so going up on the jump pad pretty much sealed his fate, as he does go down to Faison.
Enemy has the soul.
That was a big steal. They needed something there. Turbo was just locking down, already up to 67% to just 4% for Fury Force, and we got another power up in a minute. So Fury Force needs good defense. They need to secure this soul. They need good defense, and they need the next power up. This Turbo has a nice lead right now.
X with a dirty theft again there. Another gauntlet kill for him. And will be able to leap back in, get himself the theft back. So this goes back under the control of Turbo here for Fury Force. They are running out of time to steal this away. They are 70% behind the timer here that the guys on Turbo have. And this is a map and match point here too. If they drop this one, they are going to lose the series as well. So it was looking good in the last round for Fury Force, but all of a sudden that's gone away. And we could end up with the same exact round share as we had in map number 1. Guys from Fury Force found their footing in round 2, but losing round 1 and then just losing everything in round 3 again here as it's dominant from Turbo as they finally figure out what went wrong themselves and correct that for the 3rd and final round here. They're going to try to make a run at it here. The orb is going back and forth between a few players, but I'm Cool gets it back under his wing and to his team's Obelisk as what could be the last power-up spawn is coming in a moment, but it might not even matter unless they can seal this orb away. The spawn of it isn't really going to matter too much here.
Yeah, they need to stop the sacrifice at all costs.
Enemy has the quad.
They will get it off the
Big
point.
chance.
But look at this again from Cool. Oh, that quad comes in clutch though, and will be able to save his teammates for a little bit here. Drugbud carries it, trying to escort his teammate to the best of his own abilities. It's a good thing that everyone from Turbo was very focused on the point, as it does seem like they pretty much ignored that power up, and now Drugbud just ripping through them on the super shotgun. It is going to get picked up by a new player now, as he also carries the orb, denied just before he gets over to the Obelisk, so Pineapple has it back. And not only does his team have that, but they also have the soul under their control too. So they're running away with that. Riggs has both of them. He is a little bit low. The power-up is going to expire in a second, and Riggs is really just trying to avoid these pellet shots coming back in from Cody. Can't do it. Cody does successfully take him down, but Cody will not make it on to steal the actual soul itself. And there you go. The sacrifice comes out from Turbo, and they are going to take control of this map 2-1 and win the series 2-0.
Yeah, nice last attempt by Fury Force, right? I mean, they got the steal, they got the quad, and they made it interesting there, but too little, too late. They were too far behind. Got to give credit to Turbo for the strong defensive performance they're showing. Right? I mean, they get the soul, they put it in their Obelisk, and more times than obviously Fury Force could. They could, they rallied around their Obelisk and were able to get a good defense. 30 points, 40 percentage points. They were able to get steady movement on their percentage points versus Fury Force getting a little bit here, a little bit there, and just could never really get anything going. So, nothing sustained except for I think those couple rounds they won, they were able to get something going, and even in one of the rounds they lost, they were able to get something going but couldn't finish it. So that's just too inconsistent from Fury Force, and Turbo just seemed to be more consistent with their team approach to defending the point.
Well, that closes out our next match here, of course, and we do have plenty more to come. Still the entire round of 8 sets to come up here on the stream, guys, so you definitely want to keep sticking around as the action will continue, and we ourselves are going to be returning right after this short break. Do stick with us and more Sacrifice action here for the first week of North American Sacrifice Qualifiers. It's going to be